Okay, now we've got some audio. Hello there, my name is Bruce Rain from Breakers Creation. I am having no end of trouble today. Camera's not working. Microphone's not working. The computer simply is not recognizing it. So I'm going to plug it in now and see if I can get it to recognize it. Oh, and OBS has crashed 3 times on me today as well. So it's going really well. Right, let's just see what I can do here. Road. Nope. Just simply does not recognize it. Does not recognize this as even being here. I mean, it's getting power. It's possible it's a bad cable, but I don't know. I mean, it's just... It basically just started, the problem started today when I was trying to get the microscope working. So if I go here to... Okay, so if I go here and to scope camera and do that and do that. Okay, so scope camera is working. That's a nice thing. Happy about scope camera. And then, yeah, I don't know what to do about this. I'll switch this off and on again. How about that? Have you tried turning it off and on again? Okay, switched it off. And then plug it in. Switch it on. Do. Road. Ah, it's back. Okay, turn it off and on again. That's what you have to do. Alright folks, how's all that? Sound alright? Alright, now, I should have just started the live stream 9 minutes late and I'd be all fine. But anyhow, that is just the joys of live streaming. Fix one thing and break 3 others. That's how it goes. So I'm going to do my normal thing now, just a few minutes late, and I'm going to say hello to everyone. So, let's go. So, Jay from the House of Moth, Tev Rudin, Colin from This Does Not Compute. By the way, I really enjoyed that video about the power supplies, the 2SI and the LC power supply. I'll talk about that in a minute. Jack68K, Joe, Thomas Armstrong, Paul, Gibbertronics, Mark, 64-bit guy, MacMan142, who we go moving on down here. Will K-Mac, hello there. Jared Burma, hello there. 8WT. Quicksilver Oz. Steve from Mac84, hello there. Frank S. I've already done Frank S. I think I already did Frank S. Garrett Taylor. Garth Beagle. There we go. I think that's all. Let me just keep going. Oh, there's more. Foxhound477, hello. Point 5, hello. The Australian Conundrum. Sam Johnson. Anna Johnson. Got in early on a stream. Hello there. Yes. Roger Salter. He came in too early because I had nothing but problems. Oh, look at that. That's a Canadian Computer Collector, but it's not actually Dan. It's there. It's Stacy, or as it is often referred to, Stace, or as I prefer, Stack. Who else we got? Patrick Pitts, hello there. Did I miss anyone? I don't think I missed anyone. Oh, it's Dana. Hello, Dana. Dana does stuff. So anyhow, so as I said, the beginning of the live stream just really didn't go on very well because I sat down here earlier on and I was like, I want to see if I can get this microscope working. So I replaced the cable, still wasn't working properly, moved things around a little bit, changed the USB ports, finally came on, got it, that's great. But now at this point, then my OBS had to be reintroduced to all the cameras. It's sort of like, yeah, well, the camera that I was using before is gone now. I know there's one here with the same name, but it's not in the same port. So I had to go through and do all that. And I'm thinking, great. Then I've got about 10 minutes to go. I'm thinking, oh, sweet. I've got a little bit of time to do this and that. Come back, all ready to go. Oh, turn my sound on, and no sound. Just complete silence. And I was like, okay. And then that was why I was late. So my apologies, everyone. Now, I have been working on vintage Macs, as you may or may not have seen. I released a video just a little while ago that was about getting hold of two vintage Macs, a Macintosh 512K and an SE30. They're both in very, very poor condition. Now, what I would like to do here very quickly is I'm just going to add an image. I can bring an image onto this just to show you something. I'm going to call this one OK. And then I need to find the image, and we will get the image. Desktop. 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 There we go. Okay, so I hope you guys can all see that. You should be able to see that. Hey, actually, I really do need to ask that. How is Dan's back? Dana just asked that question. I hope it's getting better. Cleaning the most disgusting Xbox 360 I've ever seen. There you go. Cigarette smoke into it. Yes, okay. So, anyhow, this is a Macintosh SE30 that I got hold of with some really, really nasty corrosion. That there is the chassis that you can see. And I want to show you guys something. This is the same chassis now. Da-na-na-na, da-na-na-na-na-na, da-na-na-na-na-na-na, da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. So, just remember, you know, sometimes things are not beyond hope. So that is the reconditioned chassis. I am in the process of doing the same with the power supply. This is one part of that power supply. The other part is out in the spray booth at the moment, waiting for its second coat. And so, yeah, anyhow, that's going to be in the new video, the restoration video for that. That's be in part 2, where I basically show what can be done. You go there. There we go. Just making a little bit of space because I know I have to stick a compact Mac up onto this table, and they take a bit of space up. Spray booth. Yeah, it's a spray booth. It doesn't matter if it's cardboard. It's still a spray booth. Come on. Spray booth, spray booth. Are you talking about the Mac or Dan's back? No, I was talking about the Mac. I'm hoping Dan's back is something that will be on the mend if it isn't already. I mean, come on. Dan's doing a lot better, but not quite ready to stand at a workbench for hours. Okay, that's a bugger. That is a bugger. Okay, so I heard from the guy. So the guy who I got those two Macs from, the 512K and the SE30, contacted me yesterday, and he just said, "You interested in another one?" Sent me a photo. I'm thinking, oh, what treasures? And it turned out to be a Mac Plus. Now, Mac Plus is a nice computer, but of course they're far, far more common. Well, by the time they were getting to the Mac Plus, Apple were producing a lot more of these computers. And of course, the Mac Plus stayed on the market for years. I mean, someone could probably tell me exactly how long, but you know, it was, I don't know, from 85 or 86 or something like that. And they stayed for ages. They kept pumping out the Macintosh Plus, even to the point that what originally got sold as a beige computer ended up becoming a platinum-coloured computer. So that gives you an idea of just how long they ran it. Yes, you are correct, Paul. It's not that I'm not a Retrobright fan. I don't object to people retrobrighting their computers. I will not have a single bad word to say about them, unless, of course, they stuff it up and completely destroy the plastic on a computer, in which case I would sort of say maybe you shouldn't have. But I have seen, for instance, someone like what's his name, Javier. I mean, his his retrobrighting skills are incredible. I mean, he just makes things look brand new. And it's very, very impressive. And it's great. And as I say, I've got absolutely no objection. But I just don't care. So for myself, I just don't care. I just want it to work well inside. What I'm not a fan of are scratches and cuts and stuff like that, dents, melts. I don't like that. But when it comes to like just the color of the case, I really don't care. Let's just call it patina. I just think it's part of the age of the computer. If the insides have all been reconditioned and it's like running like new inside, then I'm fine with that. Scamperly, hello there. Oh, okay, so we've done a swap, have we? Going to switch to my own account. All right, Dan's, all right, no, we've got two of them now. So we've got Scamperly now, which is Stack, and we've got Canadian Computer Collector, which is Dan. Hello, Dan. I hope you are doing well. Very, very glad you can join us today. Sam Johnson, every Retrobright I've done has started turning yellow again in under a year, even out of sun. See, I'm not sure it's the sun that does it. And the reason why I say that is because I know of people that have actually ended up, they've actually done a bit of a Retrobright using the sun. They put the computer out in the sun and they, you know, like really, really hot sun, and they leave it out there for a couple of days and the yellowing actually starts to reduce. I think the problem is more to do with oxidization. Because when you find a vintage Mac that's been kept in its original like plastic wrap, generally they come out looking the original color. And I think it's the reaction with oxygen that actually causes it. So that's, you know, probably the main thing is if you're wanting to not get the discoloration, wrap them up in plastic. And I have heard from people saying that when they Retrobright, the yellow comes back again, that it's sort of, you end up doing something on the surface, but then it kind of leaches out from the inside. But anyhow, your back is messed. That's bad. I'm going to try your Mac server again from a laptop while I lay in bed. So anyhow, this is a Macintosh Plus, and I might even be able to get a better side view of this. Let's give it a whirl from the side view. There we go. Series of Macintosh Plus. Now, it's had something stuck over here. Don't ask me what. I can see it's got just the slightest amount of burn in the CRT, but it's really not bad. I mean, it's not bad as far as burn in goes. Yeah, it's got a floppy disk in it, and the floppy disk does actually have a system in it, on it. So there you go. But anyhow, I've got no idea. I'm hoping that I'll be able to get this off with a little bit of maybe isopropyl alcohol and a brush to get rid of these little stripes here, to look a little bit nicer. Because other than that, this thing is actually in remarkably good condition. It even has the little restart button. You don't see these come up very often. It's intact too. A lot of the time these end up broken because people leave them in there when they pull the board out and stuff, and they just snap the ends off them. Now, I'm pretty sure someone has done a reproduction of these. I will probably do one myself because, as anyone who knows me, I have incredibly, ridiculously high standards when it comes to reproduction models of things. And I often come across things on Thingiverse and I go, oh, great, I don't need to make it. And then I look at it and I go, this is shit. I do need to make it. So, Mac Plus, here we go on the back. 1 megabyte. That was a lot of memory back then. Incidentally, I should mention that the very first YouTube video I did about retro computing was about a Mac Plus. And if you go back, I think it's a long time ago. A long time. It's like 2016 or something. Here, I'll be able to tell you. I've got all my videos here. Videos. It's like ancient. Let's go reverse date. Mac Plus, Mac Plus, Mac Plus, Mac Plus, Mac Plus, Mac Plus. Where is it? It's got to be here somewhere. I was way before I did recapping. Come on. Oh, there it is. I did it in 2012. So there you go. That's 12 years ago. Was my very first vintage Mac YouTube video. And I got to tell you, it's kind of funny to watch because I sound completely different in it. It's almost like I've got a new voice at some stage. I don't know why that is the case, but you know, it's kind of weird. I'm just checking in on the chat. Yeah, now, one of the... Okay, I'm just going to spend a little bit of time. I won't go on too long because we want to get into this. But one of the things that I really like about the Mac Plus, I'll tell you what I like and I'll tell you what I don't like. Number one is expandable to 4 megabytes. Now, for a computer of this vintage, to be expandable to 4 megabytes is pretty amazing. I mean, these days we look at it and we go, I wish we could take it up to more. But, you know, at the time of this sort of computer, you know, whenever this was, 85 or 86 or something, 4 megabytes. I mean, you would literally spend thousands on the RAM, but it was just out of reach for people. So 1 megabyte was actually pretty amazing to have 1 megabyte in this, and the expandability to take it up to 4. That was really a really good thing. SCSI, of course. There's our little SCSI port here. What a fantastic introduction to bring SCSI to computers. So all of a sudden we can, you know, attach external hard drives and stuff. And of course, you know, with things like the blue SCSIs these days, it makes life easy. And I tell you what I don't like about it. This is a model that predates ADB, or Apple Desktop Bus, which means you've got the old-fashioned mouse connector here and you've got the old-fashioned keyboard connector at the front. It is a model before internal hard drives. So even though you can now get kits that allow you to make it so they have an internal hard drive, this, you know, at the time it came out, you know, again, hard drives were just ridiculously expensive at the time. So they were always trying to keep the cost of these computers down. And so, you know, they did things like not release them with a hard drive, or give you the option to buy things without a hard drive. Okay. Now, the other thing here, battery at the back. Here we go. It did actually have the battery in it, but I've taken it out. A little bit of corrosion on there. There's a little bit of greening up here on the copper. That's normal. You know, it baffles the mind that even on a computer where the battery is so friggin' accessible, people don't take the batteries out for storage. I just don't get it. I totally get it when you talk about an SE or an SE30. You know, I mean, people didn't used to have Torx drivers. You know, people had an old Mac like that. They had no idea how to open them up. How do I get into this? I totally understand those not having the batteries removed. But these, come on, people. Do better. All right, so I'm going to just open this up because that's what we do here. I said we. Dana loves it when I talk plural when I'm doing things in my life. Oh, this is missing a screw. So, you know, when I say, oh, today we're going to be looking at so-and-so. Dana gets really upset at that. I find myself doing it more and more as time goes on. Stop. Okay, so I'm going to take these screws out. There we go. So I am missing a screw. Thankfully, I do have a few extras of these, thanks to my good friend Elemento, who gave me a bunch of extras. So, yeah, it's great. I could always steal one from a classic, because who gives a shit about a classic? No one. All right. I'm going to open this up. Someone probably has already opened this up because there's a screw missing, but sometimes they can be a little bit stiff. But anyhow, we'll just see how we go. Oh, easy. Piece of cake. So once you get to this stage, you're fine. If you're wanting to get the base off, if you sort of push down while pulling up the bottom of the case like that, yeah, it's come stuck back on. It's stuck back on at the front. It's my own fault. Why has it been a dick? It's like there's something jamming it. Easy, he says. Easy, he says. Serial number on the bottom. Oh, you... Thank you for reminding me that there's a screw in the battery compartment. I did a video on these once and I explained that there's 5 screws in these. There's one in the battery compartment. What a dumbass. What a dumbass. Now it comes off. Okay, so it's really, really clean inside. I mean, really clean inside. It's quite extraordinary. Wow. It's got some reefers. We're going to have to replace those. These are reefer capacitors in here. You can see those. There's one there, and there's two up here. I have replacements for these here, so I'll be able to do that today. They will probably still work, but we know that within a relatively short span of time, God, this thing is clean. Within a relatively short span of time, they will probably blow up, and they stink. They really stink when they go off as well. This is so clean. I mean, this was stored in in one of those storage bags. You know, those big bags that had an embroidered Apple logo on the front. So that's nice. But I feel like it's been in there for a long time. Okay, so let's whip out the logic board. This is what Apple called a motherboard. They called it a logic board. And you can always tell if someone refers to an Apple logic board as a motherboard, we know that they're not part of the cool crew. Dan does like them reefers, doesn't he? Right, we'll come back to that. I just want to have a quick look at the logic board first. So we just got a little bit of dust on here, but not much. Looking pretty good. This has got 1 megabyte of RAM in it, so I dare say this is the original configuration. And one way you can really tell is if you have a look here, so there's a little resistor, and it says RAM size 256K bit. I really should record this. I should do a recording of upgrading this and put it on my channel. Upgrading a Macintosh Plus, this is what you have to do. And then you've got this resistor here for one row here. And what that would mean is if you had a single 1 megabyte SIM in there, you can select that. This could be set up with 1 megabyte, 2 megabytes, 2.5 megabytes, or 4 megabytes. They're all the different configurations you can have. So you can have 1 megabyte one row would have been 2 slots, wouldn't it? Yeah. So you can have the 1 megabyte with 4 256s. You can have it 2 megabytes with 2 ones and the other's empty. You can have 2.5 with 2 ones and 2 256s, and then you can have it all populated with ones, which of course is what I'm going to do. I'm going to take us up to 4. I mean, crazy not to. Yeah, great big 6804, 68,000 CPU there. Don't look for an FPU because there isn't one. But in order for us to upgrade this to 4, we stick 4 ones in there, and then we cut this little resistor. So that's how we used to do it in the olden days. There's a great idea for a T-shirt. How about that? I'm this old, and I'll take a photo of the resistor cut. That's a great idea. I bet you Steve will have that T-shirt out by the time I finish the live stream. Sit like an athlete again. An athlete. How does an athlete sit? Right, okay, so the logic board looks like fine, doesn't look like it needs anything done to it other than probably clean it and just get some of this dust off. Just pop it into the ultrasonic cleaner and get that squeaky clean. But and of course I have to add the diode. Up here, just going to zoom in. Alright, so right here, we've got a little, see it says CR1 and there's nothing there. Well, that's a little diode, and if you put a diode there, it will actually give this SCSI a powered termination, and then we can run a SCSI 2SD on it. But it doesn't have it on there. I'm not really sure why. SCSI was a very new thing, I guess, but they chose not to have powered termination. So if I was to plug a blue SCSI or a Zulu SCSI or a SCSI 2SD onto this, it would not get power from the port as it is. So, did you say SCSI 2SD? It's funny you say that because I've actually been doing SCSI stuff lately because I am in the process of recording a video about the Zulu SCSI, what do you call it? This one, Zulu SCSI Slim. Which, I mean, look at the size of this thing in my great big sausage hand. I mean, it is just amazingly small. It's like, look at it. Look at it. So this is the the Zulu SCSI Pico Slim. There we go. And you've got your little SD card slot there. Yeah, you've got your USB there. This one hasn't had it firmware programmed yet, but it will. So it's great. But yeah, so I've been doing all sort of SCSI related stuff, and so my brain just went back into old fashioned there and just said SCSI to SD. How about that? I promise my SCSI video will be out before yours. No one believes you, Steve. Okay, so let's put this to one side, because really this isn't where the problem is on this computer. The problem is on the analog board, and we are going to have to grab that now, aren't we? Yes, we are. We are going to have to. Speaking of we, the royal we, we've actually got some royals here at the moment. King Charles is in Australia now, doing a tour with Camilla. Aren't we happy about that? There we go. Side view is better for this. Okay, so we've got our little 800K floppy drive in there. The Macintosh Plus, I think the highest system you can run on this is 7.1, I'm pretty sure. I don't think you can go up to system 7.5, but I could be wrong. But I think maybe you might be able to do 7.5, but I'm not sure. I'm going to have to take off this analog board. It's pretty straightforward to do that. Just undo a few screws, disconnect a few plugs. This doesn't need discharging because it hasn't been switched on for a long time, so I don't believe any of these caps will have any juice left in them. Just take off the anode cap here. One anode cap gone. Now, this I can just unplug from the board. Let's try not to break it. Let's undo this. This is always the case. You always get some discoloration on this little pin here. It's just how it's done. I'm going to just take this off. And then undo a few screws. These screws are in such good condition. Having been working with a Mac with just corrosion everywhere, to then just get this one where it's just as clean as a whistle. I've got a little bit of melty going on here. Yeah, those things get hot. That's fine. There's a screw missing from here. What's all that about? Okay. $753, there we go. Cool. Yeah, that does ring a bell. You wouldn't want to run 7.5 on this though, would you? Really? Can you imagine how slow it would be? Okay, so this is one that's still stuck on with the adhesive rather than the little black push pin things that go in here. Now I've got a whole stack of 3D printed push pins that I use that in my opinion, are better than the original anyway. So I will use those, but I do have to get this off and remove all of this yicky adhesive. We don't like it. Don't like it. Okay. Now I've got to be careful with this. I don't want to whack it and accidentally destroy the CRT. Yeah. Okay, let's get this clip off. Okay. Off you come. Now, there is a common problem on Macintosh Plus analog boards and 512K and 512KE and the original 128K. There is a very, very common problem on these, especially when they get to this age. That is cracked solder joints. So we're going to have a look for that, and I suspect we'll probably find some. And I suspect that after that, this will probably just fire up. If I was using a Macintosh Plus, and we talk about operating systems, I would be using... oh, wow. I would be using System 6.08 or System 7.0.1. They would be the systems that I would use. You don't have to do what I do, but that's what I would do. Yeah, I'm gonna do something here very quickly. There we go. As good as new, sort of, not really. Right. Right, time for us to have a little bit of a look. Now let's see if the microscope is still working. Oh my god, it is! What a joy. What a joyous day. Urgh. Okay, can I get this up high enough? It tends to fall down when I lift it up really high. That's alright. We can see that. Right, now the places where we're likely to find cracked solder joints. Well, there's one right now. It's just straight up. I'll show you. Actually, it's not too bad. It's not too bad, but still going to redo it. Whenever it comes to a cracked solder joint, the best thing to do is remove the old solder, put on some new solder. Don't try and just add solder to it. Why did my phone just go bizz? Just went bizz. Oh, I know why. I had a thing that I set up to run on an automatic timer, and I was just getting it to let me know when it was running, you know, just by sending me a little alert, and just discovered that the server was on the wrong time zone. So these look very melty, don't they? These have got very hot at some stage. I'm going to redo these. See, yeah. It's actually got so hot, it's melted these blobs of solder. Look at them. Melty. That's not a good sign. This could be failed. Might take it out and test it. What do you reckon? Is that a good idea? Only got good ideas. Whoopsie. I still haven't decided whether I'm going to keep this Mac Plus or I'm going to sell it. I already have, I think, 2 Mac Pluses, maybe just one. And so you sort of think, well, is that just greedy? Should I make it so that some other collector can have one? These pins are really soft. It's quite warm here today. I've got the air conditioner on. If you can hear any whirring in the background, that's what it is. Here we go. These are the tweezers that are best for that. Yoink, yoink, yoink. And then I need to twist these around. Twisty, twisty, twist. Where's my thing? I saw it just minutes ago. There it is, buried. Okay. We. I had another comment on my ultrasonic cleaner video today from someone telling me why my ultrasonic cleaner doesn't work. And I sort of feel like, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but it does work. The number of times people just jump onto my ultrasonic cleaner video and authoritatively tell me that my ultrasonic cleaner won't work. It's quite extraordinary. Okay. Got this SE Reloaded working on that kicking my ass. That's an interesting sentence. It's holding reset low for like 10 seconds, then boots up and works fine. Well, that's weird. What's all that about? I'm just going to measure this. I've got this little component tester here. I'm just going to check and see. Oh, a bit out of focus. I need to put a new battery in this thing, but I've got to pull it apart to do that. Okay. It is saying that is a diode. It might be a diode. Let's have a BU406. Let's have a look. BU406. It's a flight. It's a flight from London to Sharm el Sheikh. Let's go here. Here we go, it's data sheet. That's more like it. Was it? 406. Let's go. BY406 data sheet. Diode. Yeah, it's a diode. It is a diode, so we're all fine. And it does work still, because it's saying a diode. So we're going to assume that's all fine. I'm sure these things can sometimes not work under load, but for the moment, I'm going to presume that we're all working perfectly well. Yes, how they fit a whole flight in there. It's amazing. I'm just going to get rid of some of this old... Here's a question for you. Lots of you will know it. Macintosh 128K, Macintosh 512K, 512KE, and Mac Plus all have something in common. Well, they have lots of things in common. But there is something missing from the case that you'll find in just about every other computer. But there's something that's not in these computers, and it is a bit of an issue sometimes. Damn, that has got hot. Look at that. I mean, I really feel like I should be replacing this. I'll see if I've got any more. Fuse, no, that's not what I was thinking of, but I won't leave you in the lurch anymore. It's a fan, a bloody fan. What's this one? That is a MOSFET. No, that's not what we want. We don't want a MOSFET. MISC. Just looking through all my miscellaneous stuff here, I may find. Sometimes I buy these things, and then I forget that I bought them. It just sort of seems like it would probably be better to give it a new un. What's that one? What's this one? That's a P channel, so that's a MOSFET. What about this one? That's tiny, that's not it. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. Okie dokie. Just keep looking, because if I do have a new one to put in there, I will put a new one in there. But they all look the same, but they're different. This one's a MOSFET as well. Yes, fan. Fan it is. No fan in those silly Macs. Oh, this is all my safety caps. I probably should keep this nearby because I'm going to need some of those for sure. So I'll keep that out because we're going to have to replace our things. Oh, this is a whole stack of diodes. Just not the ones I need. Nope. Nope. Resistor kit. Nice. Nice. And that's also miscellaneous. Nope. I don't really have much of a system with these miscellaneous. They just get put into these containers as I receive them. And that's maybe not a good way to do things. I should probably actually combine things together that have similarities. Like, oh, I'll put all the diodes together. Oh, I'll put all the MOSFETs together. But, you know, this is me we're talking about. All right, so for the moment, we're going to have to just assume this is okay because I don't have a replacement. So, yeah, this is the little guy here. And he does test okay, my component tester, but I'm just concerned about all these burn marks and stuff. But anyhow, what we can do with this at the very least is put some more thermal compound on it so that this metal will work as a better heat sink. Just have to find my plastic bag full of goo. What's the backstory on the ultrasonic? So I built an ultrasonic. I built 2 ultrasonics, as a matter of fact. And anyhow, I had some problems with the first one, and I had some problems because of the way I had built it, which I then resolved when I built another one later on. But well, not everyone. This is wrong. This is, of course, not everyone. But there are people that send messages saying your ultrasonic is not going to work because the ultrasonic sound waves are going to cancel each other out. And it's just not true. Did that go that way, or did that go that way? I think it went that way, yep. Boop, boop, boop. Oh, I'm going to get thermal compound all over my hands. Help. Help. Is there anything around it that could... Well, I'll have a look at that in a minute. These are actually 2 things that are designed to get hot, as you can see, because they've got these frapping great heat sinks on them. So, yeah. Okay. Here we go. I'm going to put it back on, and we are going to assume it's okay. But yeah, I mean, look at there's burning up on this side as well. Just there, you can't see. There we go. Burny. I think it would make sense to replace this, and I think I will. And of course, this computer may not work. That's always a possibility. And I might have to replace it for that reason. But in the meantime, we shall proceed as normal. Well, it's, you know, the whole cancel out thing, think of it like this. Imagine you've got your stereo in front of you, you're listening to music. You've got your left channel and your right channel or whatever. let's just say you start listening to mono music, so it's the same sound coming out of each speaker. Do you suddenly not hear anything? Does one speaker cancel out the other? It does not. It does not. And I don't even mind if people are sort of like, oh, yeah, okay, no worries, I didn't realise that. But these people are talking like they are authorities on this matter. And like, they don't even say, oh, is it possible that, or would this, or whatever. They just come out and they say it. Oh, that'll cancel it out. That won't work, because that'll cancel it out. And it's like, it won't cancel it out. And it does work. And have a nice day, and go comment on your own bloody channel. That smells. All right, this looks interesting. Let's have a look at this. So this is where the sticker was. This is the what is it? The yoke connector, I think. Yeah, this is the yoke connector, and the sticker that was holding the panel on was here, and it's made a bit of a mess here. So we're gonna clean this up, put new solder on there. Yeah, I mean my because the other thing you have to remember is that a lot of the information I got about building this ultrasonic cleaner came from the manufacturers of the what do you call them, the drivers and what are they called? Inductors? No, can't remember what they're called. But anyhow, it came from those people that make them and sell them, and they make their own ultrasonic cleaners, great big massive ones. And, you know, I talked to them about all this sort of stuff, and they're like, no, that's rubbish. It's nonsense. I clean off the top of this one here. Get myself a scalpel. Cam Wind, hello there. You are not late at all, really. I mean, I haven't done that much here. I had all sorts of troubles getting started because I had no audio. Managed to get through that issue. Better now. Okay, I actually want to take this plug off, which is why I've kind of desoldered the whole thing. Just want to have a look at it. I feel like these pins could be a little bit further down. Okay. Just going to scrape this a little bit. Scrapey, scrapey. Just want the best chance of solder adhering well to this. Storing a Mac Plus too. Hope yours is in better shape than mine. Look, this one is actually in remarkably good shape. I mean, it's got all of the normal stuff that you get with, and you know, the old analog boards. It's got reefer caps. It looks like it's got some cracked solder joints, and I might even have a diode which is past its prime, but we'll wait and see what happens with that. Oops. Nope. Where'd it go? There it is. All right. We were just talking about the BU406. But the BU406 on this, it's like, it's burned to a crisp. But it's still tested as okay in my component tester. So, you know, it might still be okay, or it might fail when it's under load. But the component tester did correctly recognize it as a diode, so that's something. What are the symptoms of yours, just out of curiosity? Okay. I did not get this from America, and I can show you. This one here is an international board. So this is one that runs on 240 volts. So, yeah. But no, I didn't get this from America. 240 volt. Got this one from... oh, wow. The reef is already gone. Poof. Jeez, I'm glad I missed that. Okay, so this is a 0.47 microfarad. What's that in picos? Does anyone know? Uh-oh. I've run out of them. What about this one? What's this one? I must have some more. Maybe, I mean, why would I put this in this container? What's this one? This is 47. 305 volts, that's fine. X2. It says U47. I'll just measure it, just double check. Thank you, multimeter. Let's put you on to capacitance mode. 0.47 micros. It was micro, wasn't it? Yeah. 0.4. So this is fine. This is a suitable replacement. So we've got two different types of reefer cap on this. We have these ones here, which I believe are class Y, and then we've got this one here, which is class X. And I'm replacing it with an X2, which is it's even better than an X. It's like, you know, it's got Wolverine and I saw Deadpool and Wolverine the other day. I found the plot. What's a kind way that I can express that? Incoherent. How about that? Formerly known as Twitter caps. Oh, we're getting the funnies coming in there from Paul. I haven't even finished cleaning up all the cracked solder joints, but I got a good look at this reefer cap and I was like, I want you off my board. Get off my plane. All right, let's have a look at this crunchy looking thing. Oi, look at that. Not good. It's got a little bulge. I just said get off my plane to the TV. Okay, so this is... the pins aren't the same width on this, but we'll make it work. Because... you know... I'm not going to let this thing tell me what to do. There we go. Look, it's perfect now. You would never know. I'm using a massive, massive soldering iron tip on this at the moment. But for this sort of work, it really doesn't matter. Oh, someone's got a noisy car. Do you know that your car sounds stupid? Oopsie. This big R55 resistor down here. Can't show it to you. Here we go. This one here. That has a high failure rate. Always keep spares of those. Holy crap. No, I was actually going to say, it looks like the spares that I put on, but this cover's never come off. It still has the original adhesive on it, so no, it's never been replaced. So now I'm just seeing things. Right, and then we've got these two little guys here. These little ones, little guys here, and they are 4700 picofarad Y. What's 4700 picofarad? 0.0047 microfarad. How does that sound? That sound right? Anyone? 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 I'm going to have to order some more of these. Can someone confirm for me that 0.0047 microfarad is 4700 picofarad? The bloody shit, that is the word you're looking for. Oh, okay. Hey Siri, what is 4,700 picofarads in microfarads? That's not useful. Oh, hang on. Oh, it did tell me. 4,700 picofarads is 0.0047. Thanks, Siri. I was wrong to doubt you. Thank you, Colin. And thank you, Mr. Tech Gadget. Okay, so now we've got to take these Class Y caps off. And they are and the. Here we go. Slightly better view. I can use this big old clunky thing for this because these pads can handle a bit of a battering. If I tried to do this on a more delicate board, I might end up, the bumping of this thing might end up damaging some traces. No fear of that here. It's Friday night, so my brain is done for the week. I know that feeling. I'm actually going out tonight. Going out for dinner. Catching up with my good friend Madeline, who appeared on the Mac Yak show a few times. We whenever she's in town, we try and catch up if we're if we're available. Because sometimes we don't get much warning. Sometimes she's like, I'm going to be down there next week. You're free. And sometimes we are, and sometimes we aren't. And we are free this time, so we're going to catch up with Madeline, which is always fun. She's a great fun person. Always has lots of good stories. And I'll also be catching up with Adrian, for those who may or may not know the Australian, Australian Computer Museum thingy? Australian Computer Museum, and actually, he was on a, what's that guy's name? What's that guy? Miami. Luke Miami. Yeah, that's it. He guested on a Luke Miami video. Miani video. When he was showing off his collection. I suspect Adrian has the largest collection of boxed Apple products in the world. I would challenge someone to find a larger collection. The guy bought a school to store them in. Okay. I will tell her you said EEP. You slightly improved the laser printer. Which sort of laser printer is it? Please do tell. Duke Fiammi. All right, so we've now replaced the what do you call them? These things, the reefers with what do they call these ones? Polymers or something? I can't remember. So they're fine now. We don't have to worry about them. Got to keep looking for cracked solder joints because that's what I actually did this for in the first place. That's why I'm here. Generally the places where you find cracked solder joints is on the connectors and on the flyback transformer. So let me just change over to my scope view here. And these actually really don't look bad at all. I'd probably still just put new solder on them anyway because, you know, we're all about preservation here and future-proofing and other corporate words like that. Bandwidth. Have you heard people saying that in the corporate world? Do you have bandwidth to take this on? I'll just put my Fume extractor on. Hello, chicken. Actually, let's say hello to the chickens. We haven't said hello to the chickens. We probably won't see many of them because... oh, no, there's a couple. Hello, chickens. There's one here just behind me. Hello. Looking for food. That's all they do, really. They just look for food. Hello. Yeah. Oh, I've got a really bad angle here. I'm going to move the scope. There we go. Okay. Hey, Thomas. What time do you call this? Thomas is normally one of the first people to jump onto the chat and say hello. Alright, let's have a look, see at this. So there's two connectors here. We've got this one here. And I did redo that one, but the rest of these actually look really good. Oh, that one's a bit cracky. A bit cracky. That's a good enough reason to do them all. So, let's change over to this view. And the way I do these typically is I do every second pin so that the connector doesn't fall out. Came for the retro, stayed for the poultry, indeed. Right, so back onto the scope. Already did that one. I just did it second time. What an idiot. Beep, 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 beep. That's my multimeter saying, no, sir. We are done for today. Okay. That's that connector. And then we've got this little connector here. This is the what I generally refer to as the umbilical connector. And we have got some... Oh, that one's nasty. That one's nasty too. Look at it. If we get in real close and have a look at these, you'll see what I'm talking about. Now this one in particular, look at that. Look at it. It's gross. Gotta hate autocorrect. Well, especially if you're typing in a different language than what it's programmed for. I've never been able to use a solder remover effectively. When I push the thumb button, it always moves my hand enough to push the head of the remover away from the solder point. Yeah, I get that. I actually get right in on it. I actually have it so that it's excuse me, touching the pin. So I'm kind of steadying it on the pin itself. And I know it means that you've got the heat issue, but having said that, this is still the same tip. I have not got a new tip on that one. So they do last a while. My motorized one, my motorized solder sucker, it's not getting up to temp at the moment. I don't know why. It's a rubbish one, it really is. It's hard for me to recommend it. I need to get a good one, but they're rather expensive. And the thing is that I often end up buying things from the States. It's a long story as to why I buy them from the States. But the Fluke one is one that is actually on like US voltage. So if I buy one from the States, I won't be able to use it out here. I have to buy one locally. And to buy one that is like 230 or 240 volts is really expensive. Okay, that's all of our crackles. So let's just have a systematic whir around the board and just see if we can find any other ones. So, what the... Did I do that? So, there is ample evidence that this resistor has been replaced, but I think someone redid the glue. I'm going to do this properly because it's a crap job. It certainly wasn't by me. I don't know if you can see what someone has done. This is why I know it's not by me. When they've put in the new component, they've just destroyed the pads. See? Look at them, all cut through and everything. It's bad. So it looks to me like someone replaced this resistor and then put the Mac back together again and used double-sided tape to put the thing back on. Weird, eh? Probably bend that pin down. I don't like bending pins, but I actually think it's a sensible thing to do under the circumstances. There we go. Looks good. Yeah, I mean, it's really weird. So someone definitely has had this open and lost a screw. Alright, so we keep on the hunt for dodgy looking... We've got a little bit of... I'll probably just freshen these ones up a bit. I won't redo them. Just add a little bit of solder and melty. So, Jay from the House of Moth didn't particularly like Beetlejuice, by the sounds of things. It sucked. It's interesting because there are a lot of... I mean, if you watch the original one, you sort of feel like if you're going to make a second one, shouldn't it have Alec Baldwin and Gina Davis in it? But it doesn't. And then, of course, they couldn't put that other guy in it because doesn't he have the husband? They couldn't bring him in because I think he's got like it's pedophile accusations or something like that. Right. You know what I need to do? I need to get my little voltage tester from Will for these. It's always a good idea to check the voltage of these things. It's up in the house, so I might have to go up there and get it. Right. I was expecting these connections to be way worse than they are. What's going on with that one? What's all that gunk in there? Oh wow, a little bit of corrosion. I'm going to replace this capacitor because it's actually really heavily corroded. So, you know, remember what I was saying before? Future proofing. I was going to mention something about the PSU video. Yes, look, all I was really going to say was, how cool is that? It's really, really nifty, that thing you've come up with that allows you to replace the power supply. And I think I will probably end up getting some because they look cool. So this one here, look at this. Definitely a leaky cap. I'm going to measure this guy just to see what the man says. Okay, here we go. Testing. Capacitor. It's taking a long time to bring up the results. Doesn't normally take that long. 28 microfarads. And it is meant to be ESR of 6.9. 28. So what is it meant to be? It's meant to be a 33. So it's not crazy off. Getting near freezing. That's no good, Jeremy. Is it? No, it's not cold in the southern hemisphere at the moment. It's quite warm. It's been quite wet here, though. You can see up in the top left-hand corner there, it is currently 25 degrees in the city at the moment. Not necessarily where I am. Actually, it is. Same temperature here. Right, now what did I say it was? It's 33. So I've got a whole section here of axial caps. And I'm going to presume that I have one of these. 33 microfarad. Look at that. A thunk of everything. Oh. There we go. So, just check and see if I need to do any cleaning. It's definitely an indication. You don't normally see those axials leaking. But that one, absolutely no doubt about it, it was leaking. So good to get that sorted. Night time's around 2 degrees C. That's a frickin' freezing. Yes, we've the long-range weather forecasters around here have predicted that we are going to have an unseasonably hot summer. Abnormally hot summer. So won't that be fun? I think I mentioned here before, the hottest day I've ever recorded here at this location, since I've been here 20 years, is 45 degrees Celsius. Don't ask me what that is in Fahrenheit, because I do not know. Right, so that's good. I'm glad to have replaced that, because even though that cap might have been measuring okay, it can't tell me it was good with all that leakage. Yeah, Bruce is in a southern state. It's warmer in Queensland. Yeah, so obviously the distance from the equator sort of thing. So Queensland is actually up near the Tropic of Capricorn. Is it Capricorn? So Queensland being closer to the equator is a lot warmer up there. And then we're down in New South Wales, and then below us is Victoria, and then below them is Tasmania. So Tasmania is a really cold place. Okay, well, I feel like a TWEEZERS. No, I don't. I feel like I want to give this a try now. But what I do want to do before I do that, I'll get it all ready to go. I just want to duck up and grab the little voltage tester, just to see what output voltages we're getting on this. 113 Fahrenheit. Yeah, that's hot. That is hot. That was quite something else. I mean, we've got very, very good air conditioning here, so we can get inside and generally get fairly comfortable. But that was the sort of heat where you just sort of stepped outside and, it's just like you're burning your throat as you're breathing sort of thing. It's awful. Awful. Ugh. Ugh. variations on my old man noises. Right, let's pop this back in. Hope I can remember where I put the screws. Screws. There we go. In she goes. Okay. It's funny, you know, one of the things I find with these vintage Macs when they've been opened by someone before, I regularly find a screw missing. And I just sort of think, how come so many people are losing screws when they open these things up? I mean, wouldn't you keep an eye on it? I don't know. That was stiff. Okay, then we put that connector on there, and then we put the little anode cap on there, doobity doobity, and then here are the screws. Okay. There we go. Just trying to find the spot. Found it. Yeah, a lot of the time, just commenting on what Paul's saying there, a lot of the time here where I am, just depending on what's going on, we can get both dry and wet heat. A few years ago when we had the drought, sort of 2019, that sort of thing, and that was just dry as. It was just dry heat constantly. And then we had loads and loads and loads and loads of rain, and then we had very, very moist heat. Everyone like that word? Bit of moist? Alright. Right, so I'm going to go quickly go and get the little battery, the voltage tester. I'll be back in just a second. So hold on to that thought. Back soon. Hello. It's moist. We all love that word, don't we? Logic board. Here it is. Here's my wee logic board. I'm not going to put it in sideways. I'm just going to connect it up like this. Now, really, when you're measuring voltages, you should have the floppy connected as well because of the drain on it. But anyhow, just to start off with, we're going to see if it starts and see what sort of voltages we're getting. So this is a great little piece of kit. I got this from Will, K-Mac Vintage. And this here measures the voltages coming out of the floppy port. Very niftaroony. Alright, now what I'm doing here is really, really freaking dangerous. I've got an exposed analog board facing me at the moment. Dangerous voltages. Don't do this at home because it's stupid. Okay, plugged it in. Okay, I've definitely got low voltages here. I've got 3.2, 7.2, so we're definitely low voltages here. So we might have to have a little bit of a tinker with the voltages while we're there. Voltage yields, that bottom one. All right. Now, will I be able to get this up to the voltage I need just with an adjustment? This is making absolutely no difference to the voltage at all. Okay, interesting. Okay, now what I'm going to do now, I'm going to switch it off. I'm actually going to put the board into the machine. Just going to make sure. Oh, I didn't have the yoke connector plugged in, everyone. So not the yoke connector, sorry, the thing on the back. Neck board. The neck board connected to the elbow board. No, that's not how it would work. All right, let's try it again. No wonder it was upset. Well, it's still upset. Now I tell you why I'm confused. I tell you why I'm a bit baffled. I'm gonna wax lyrical with you here. Before actually doing anything to this computer, I actually just switched it on. I plugged it in, switched it on to see what would happen. And what ended up happening was it chimed and it booted from a floppy disk, but I had a blank screen. So it sort of seems odd given the fact that I haven't actually done that much. I replaced a cap, I cleaned up a few cracked solder joints, and I feel like we've actually gone backwards. And that does surprise me. And I just have to sort of think about what have I potentially done to have, got myself into a backwards situation. But anyhow, I'm going to put the board in here because I want to replicate the predicament that I had earlier, exactly where I was. So this is what I was doing before. All right, so we're on there. There we go. I don't know. I mean, it's more cracked joints as possible, but I mean, they really didn't look that bad in the first place. Yeah, voltage is way, way low. Way low. Something smells. How do I have things like they're right here and then they disappeared? How does that happen? Do I pick them up and move them and not remember? Ah, it's right here. Can you check the pins on the octo coupler? That's the diode again, replaced with a generic one from HXPSU or something. I've got lots of diodes here. I'll just look up the specs and make sure I put one on there because it's 2 diodes in it. So I'd have to use 2 diodes if I wanted to replicate this thing, which I could definitely do. I've got some big fat diodes here. I've got monstrous diodes. All right, I'm just waiting for my thermal camera to switch on. It's all good to go now, because I want to see if I've got anywhere spitting out unusually high amounts of heat. That diode, CR1, is getting 88 degrees. That's all hot as there. 150 degrees. Okay, so in this location here, that was that one that was melting the solder. That one there is getting up to 150 degrees C, which is not a good sign. You don't normally expect that. So, I don't know, can you guys see that? So that is sitting at 90 at the moment. If I turn the power on, 90, 95, 96, 97. Okay. So I think we can fairly safely say that component is rogered. And this one here is really hot too. This is CR1. So I've got to look at some components here. I've got the file. Oh wow, what's this? Oh, okay. Oh, it's a weird thing happening on there. So yeah, we don't like things that get that hot. So we've got a couple of things I need to take off and test. First thing I'm going to do is just quickly discharge the CRT. Precautionary measure. Probably not necessary, but as I say, we do it because these do have a bleeder resistor that will actually discharge it by itself, but just like to be sure. There we go. Off she comes. Interesting. 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 Whenever someone says something like Predator Cam, like it said there, Mickey has said that, Mickey Kaufman, my brain just automatically goes da 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 dun da 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 dun da 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 dun da 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 dun. That's what my brain does every time. Okay, let's do that up, and let's start doing a little bit of diagnostics. Ow, 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 ow. Right. So the first thing I want to do is have a look at this monstrous diode here. This one was getting super hot. This one here was hotter than it should be getting. Just go here to scope. GI85 something dark side. Something dark side. Something complete. I was going to try and help Kai with the SI Reloaded board, but I managed to stuff up. I grabbed an SI board and I was going to scan it in, but I ended up stuffing it up in the process, and I ended up scraping off some of the traces. I would do it better next time. Right, so let's have a look at that. Yep, alright. Now I'm going to measure this. I expect this will probably measure fine. Yep, okay. It is measuring as a diode, but I just don't like how hot it was getting. It is an 8440. 8440. Now let's see what I have in the way of diodulars. I've got an even bigger one than that. Look at that. Look at that big fat thing. That's a rectifier. But these ones. Eight four four oh. Oh, crap sticks. Going on a diode hunt. Going on a diode hunt. So, going on a diode hunt. Going on a diode hunt. Okay, this one is 8440 diode. Actually, I don't need to look this crap up. I mean, I've got the book. I'm just going to get the book. Just bear with me, I'll get the book. New, and it's, was it Repair and Upgrade Secrets? No, I think it's Repair and Upgrade Secrets. I actually have this book. Macintosh Repair and Upgrade Secrets from 1990. There we go, by Larry Pina. And let's pop this up here. And then I will share my screen and we can all have a look at this. There we go. Screen, yay! So, I said so again. I say so a lot, don't I? We'll go right down to the back here. We want... Chapter 10, Chapter 11, kit repairs and repairs. There we go. Parts list for analog board international version. That is page 335. Where are the page numbers? 3. There we go. Getting there. Oh dear, what have I done? Oh. Come on. US version, US version, US version, US version. US version. Here we go. Parts list, Macintosh analog board, international version. And we are looking for CR1. Yes, we are. CR1. CR1. There we go. 600 volt 3 amp RSI. What's RSI stand for? Anyone? 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 Generic GI854. Okay. GI854. Philips ECG580. 600 volt 3 amps. I might have something like that. RSI. I'm going to look that up. RSI diode. My live stream. Oh, 55 people watching. Hello. Hello, 55 people. GI854 is a common diode. Yeah, yeah. Rectifier. Okay. R is rectifier. Is that right? So, silicon rectifier diode. That sounds right. Does that sound right? Right, okay, I've got to do that. I've got to do the smash the like button. You ready?
Smash that like button.
Yeah. All right, so that one was 600 volts. 600 volts, 3 amp rectifier. Let's see what I've got. I've got 400 volt 6 amp rectifier. Let's see what this one is. No. Use anything for that number up. 858. Okay, well, let's see what I've got. I do have more diodes. I just got to hunt them down. Keep looking for diodes. Diodes are my friend. I've got some things here that are meant to go into this container, so I'm going to just put them in there now. There you go. That looks like a diode. I can actually get diodes at my little local electronics place. They have quite a good range of diodes. But I would have to go there. And as it is, I would have to walk there because my wife has the car. That's not entirely out of the question, but it would make it a little bit difficult for me to stream while I'm walking to the shops. Yeah, that's where I keep all them's diodes. Nope. I've got lots of surface mount diodes here, but what to do? I'll just have a look up here. Sometimes I put things in weird places. Like there. This is just a dumping ground for components sometimes. Oh, what's that? I'll have to check that out. Might be something I need. Oh, and that. Okay. Not there. Right, so let's just think about this carefully. What's this one? This is... Excuse me a minute. when I kiss the sky. Sorry about this, folks. This is a really boring stuff where I'm hunting for components in my very disorganized workshop. 600 volt 3 amp. Look what I found. 600 volt 3 amp. That's what I was after, wasn't it? Okay. That's this one. So that's this one here. This one. Top view. Top view. This one here is the exact. Okay, now what was that? This one is... That's a MOSFET. What's this one? I don't even know what this one is. This is just unlabeled. I just want to look it up. Just because you never know. Sometimes I buy things for other computers and then I forget that I've bought them. F9. That's a MOSFET as well. Okay, so I've got lots of MOSFETs, but not much in the way of diodes with 3 pins. Worry not. We at least have this one. So this one here, we can use to replace this one here. I mean, you can see they're actually virtually an identical size, so feeling good about that. Okay, now the only reason I'm changing this is because it was getting blazingly hot when I switched it on, and I don't like blazingly hot. Now the next thing I need to do is I need to research the other diode. I need to get specs on it to find out the layout of it, and then I might be able to replicate it using 2 other diodes. And then if not, I'll have to wait for this to heat up. So yeah, do a field trip to the store. I would probably need to give them a heads up if I was going to do that. I have actually thought about doing that. I've thought about actually filming in there and just releasing a little video and saying, "Hey, this is the shop that I go to. I walk in here and I buy my bits." Is that a bit self-indulgent? Okay, that's a big fat diode done. Now it's this one here that was getting up to like 150 degrees C. So this is the one that's getting up to a temp to melt solder. So that does not bode well. So I'm going to take him out and we're going to find a little bit more out about him and see if we can come up with some sort of temporary replacement until I buy a real one. I'll also need to see if they sell this one at my local JCar, because if they do, then it's something I can actually fix today. I don't think they will, but I'll check. Oh dear. There we go. Okay, I should be able to wiggle that out now. If I wiggle it just a little bit. If it's HV diode, it would be multiple diodes in the same package. Well, just on the, when I just did the little test, it it came up as if it was 2 diodes. But I'm going to find out more about it now. I'm going to go up to my little thing here, and I'm going to go BU 406 specs. Okay, it's a what? Manufacturer part number BU 406. It says it's what? I had one thing before tell me it was a diode, but now this is actually saying it's an NPN bipolar single transistor NPN 200 volt. Why don't I just look in the book? Because I'm an idiot, that's why. Well, that explains it, why it's definitely rogered, because it didn't test right. Okay, so let's go to, it's Q2. And we'll go to our book. Okay. Gonna have a look at our book, okay. That's bad. Okay, Q2. Q2. BU406, NPN, 7 amps, 60 watt, TO220. That's the TO220 is the package. So it's an NPN 7 amp 60 watt. I may well have one. I've just been pulling out bloody, sort of transistors left, right, and center, and it could have been any one of them. So I'm going to have to go through them all again. Ay, caramba. Okay, so yeah, well, it tested as a friggin' diode, so it didn't test it as an NPN, so we know it's stuffed. So let's have a look at what we have here. Now I need the one with the metal on the back, so it's definitely not going to be one of these ones. What was this one? This was 600 volt. You know what? This would be almost it. NPN. We keep looking. I really do suspect I have something equivalent. MPN. No, that's manufacturer part number. I'm just going to get them all out. Get them all out, eh? You know? What was I thinking? There we go. There's that one. That one there. We'll have to check what that one is. I've written down all the codes of these things. I just don't know what they are. I mean, I can look them up, but I have to look them up. I don't, I don't just look at those codes and go, yeah, I know what that is, because I don't. All right. There's that. There's that. I had those other two. Did I put them back? Yeah, I did put them back. Nope. 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 Funny old world. Okay, right. It's time to do a little bit of homework and research and things. Ugh. Mouser has them by the bucket. Yes, I'm sure they do, but it takes like 3 days for stuff to get here from Mouser. So this one was Q2 TNPN. So let's have a look at what I've got here. NPN 7 amp 60 watt. $200 volt 60 watt NPN. Okay, let's look at what I have here. We're just going to work our way through what I actually have here in stock, and see if any of them provide an equivalent. So let's go here to, probably the easiest thing to do is just go on to Mouser or DigiKey, search for the part number, and then just see all the specs that come up. So this one is accept all cookies. Oh yes, I'll have some cookies, please. I feel like cookies. F 9Z30. Okay, that is 50 volt, 18 amp. That's a P-channel MOSFET. That's not what we want. That's the same as that. Oh, okay. I'll just put that in that. That's the same as that as well. How many different packets have I got of exactly the same product? That's so odd. Maybe when I bought it, I got different packets and whatnot. And I just kept them separate. Oh, what? This is the boring stuff of just looking up codes. RCA SK ECG 379 is not recommended as application. RCA SK 9085. Okay, cool. Just reading things. So what is this one? This is a NPN 61 7 amp. That's a power transistor, that one. That's not the right thing. Well, what I can do, I guess, for the moment is I can raid one off another board just for the sake of testing. That's probably the most logical thing to do. And then we can at least see if that's a fault, and then I can, of course, just order one in. I think that's the most logical thing. Just doing double checkings as you know how it is. Yeah, it's amazing. Here I am sort of thinking, oh, I've got so many of these little packages and they're all the same thing. Every single one was the same item. And not suitable. Yeah, so there's that one there. I'm curious to see what that is. I'm just curious to see what this one is. It's not suitable, but I'm just curious to see what it is. Whoopsie. N-channel MOSFET. Yeah. Right. All right. Okay, so I'm going to just duck over to the other shed. I'm going to go and raid the analog board, another one of those analog boards, take the component off that, put it on this, and we'll test it out. Okay, so I will only be a couple of seconds. So, back soon. Now, if the component is gone on this board as well, we know it's a conspiracy. Okay. No. I didn't go to my neighbour's house. I went to the shed next door. So my backyard has 3 sheds in it. And I'm in shed A. Technically it's shed B. And that's shed C. See, this could be shed A. Maybe. Yeah. Best if I actually put a camera view where you can actually see what I'm doing, eh? How about that? How about that? I should use this, save a little bit of solder wick. That's a good point. Give a shed. I don't give a shed. Fume extractor, please. Yes. I know. I know. At the moment it's a little bit difficult because it's curled up behind the microscope. It'll be easier when I get this off. I've been using that fume extractor a lot lately because I've been dealing with solvents and paints and stuff like that, and it's just so cool if I'm here working with a solvent. I can just have it on there and you end up barely being able to smell it. It's fantastic. Okay. Whip it off. So I've got to go and buy myself a bunch of these BU406s, eh? I'm just going to see if they have them at JCar. Because if they do, I will just go there this afternoon to grab some. JCar. 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 BU406. No. What were some other codes? I'm throwing them some other codes at me. Mm. 2SD823. No, nothing under that. What was it? It was a NPN. I'd be really surprised if they had these at JCar. NPN transistor. Oh, they've got a few here. I'm just going to click on these and just see what we have. So there's a MJE3055. Let's look at the specs of that. This is 70 volt, hang on, NPN TO220, That's right. 90 watts. 90 watts, 70 volt, 10 amp. 90 watts, 70 volt, 10 amp. So 70 watt, so sorry, 60 watt, 7 amp. Watt. Oh, so this is way over spec for that. So that should be fine. And then that, so that's this one here. Yeah, MJE3055. If there's anyone there who is, you know, sort of feeling all googly, you know, like they want to look something up, can someone tell me if they think a product called an MJE3055 would be suitable to replace this one? Because I know there's some clever cookies out there. So let me just click here. I'm just going to check and make sure they have it at my store. Oh, look at that. In stock, available. So I will pop out and I shall grab some later today. Okay, what have we got here? Living in the city of shed is an impossible luxury. Okay. Just looks like they don't stock beer. Yeah, but I honestly believe, I think that the one that they do have, so if you're just Quicksilver, if you want to just have a look, the JCAR part number is ZT2280 MJE3055 NPN transistor. It's over spec of the original, so I would look. I mean, I'm not going to just assume, because that makes an ass out of you and me. It doesn't really work very well if it's not written. They're HOTS, horizontal output transistors. Checked, they don't stock them. So that thing that I just chose won't work. That's a bummer. I would have liked it if it did work. It made me feel good. I'm going to have to take this off to measure it. But I can see this one isn't burnt or crisp like that other one, so that makes me feel better. So it's going to have to be either an eBay purchase. Sometimes I just buy, if I'm just only after a handful of these sorts of things, I just go on eBay and get them from there. You'll find most of these things. I bet you if I search for BU406 on eBay, they would be there. Retro Techie. Howdy, 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 howdy. Oh, stay still, you munchkin. Oh, yeah. Swear word. Stupid pliers. These pliers are totally unsuitable for the job that I'm doing at the moment. Oh, for fridge magnet's sake. There we go. It is a Mac Plus. What? This is from a Mac Plus. It is. It is. Alright, so let's test this little component here, BU406. And just pop it into my little component tester here. There we go, pin 1, 2, 3. Close it up and press the button. Appuyez les boutons. Yeah, see, look at that. Completely different result. This one is actually showing me it's an NPN transistor. It was all the little specs and everything here. The other one was showing me it was 2 diodes. So, yeah, this one is good. Or certainly better than the other one. So, let's get some more heat compound here so that we know we're spreading heat around. And then I shall have to order replacement. NPN, what number again? It is, come on. It is BU406. But you can also use RCA SK9085. There's something for you. Oh, with this sort of with a component like this, I just slather it on. You know, who cares? It's not like I'm not thermal pasting a CPU. This is the cheap thermal compound. Oh man, there's a spider on my face. Stop it. Oh, we're gonna hear it. I don't know if you can hear that, the bird. The moment you can probably hear lots of bird noises. That's because there is another bird up there and they're all extremely unhappy with that bird being around. The bird in question making that delightful noise. I hope that came through. I'm sorry if it didn't and I was just silent the whole time. But assuming that sound did come through, that's a bird called a channel-billed cuckoo. It being a cuckoo means that it's a bird that lays its eggs in other birds' nests. And they basically come out here, they fly south during our spring and summer. They then lay an egg in another bird's nest. It typically will mature before the other ones do, so it will actually kick the other eggs out of the nest, and then the parent birds bring it up, and then they fly back to where they came from when they're grown up. It's kind of awful, but it's still, it's nature. It's not like they're an introduced species or anything. I mean, they've been coming here for eternity. Whoopsie. Oh. So, yeah, anyhow, there was just a little chat about the channel-billed cuckoos. Now, if you get a chance to do a little Google search for channel-billed cuckoo, they are the most amazing bird you have ever seen. Got this great big beak and red eyes. Oh, this is vexing me so. Just trying to get these pins in there. I've got to get them perfectly lined up in order for this to go in. I think I've got some solder on this too. It's stopping it from getting in there. There we go. We're doing it. We're doing it. We're getting it in there. Oh, shuzbut. I've been at the pins. $13.48 in stock. Element 14 has it, yeah. Is it actually Sydney stock? A number of times I contact Element 14 and it's actually overseas stock, not local stock. Because there's also RS components, they're not far from me either. They carry quite a bit of Sydney stock. But yes, if they do have it locally, I'll grab it from Element 14 or RS components. The thing that sucks about RS components, I used to use them for everything. They're a little bit more expensive. The products were a little bit more expensive, but I used to use them because they were free delivery. You didn't even have to have a minimum spend. It's free next day delivery. And oh, for fuck's sake! This is killing me. I need my other glasses. I need my glasses that allow me to actually see shit. Where have they ended up? Maybe I should just do it with the microscope. How about that? I'm going to do it with the microscope. Hey! Last thing I want to do is wreck this component by bending these pins too much. I've got no idea where my glasses are. I mean, they're here. They're on the desk. They were on the desk before. So they're on the desk somewhere. But I just can't find them at the moment. And I'm afraid that these glasses that I've got at the moment, they're not super good for super close-up stuff. They're good for, like, you know, screen, reading a screen, phone screen. Okay. Oh, this is so much easier. Why didn't I do this to start off with? I have to get these pins absolutely perfectly lined up because I have to apply a bit of pressure to push it in, and if they're not perfectly lined up, they'll just bend in half. Right, looking a little bit better now. I said the fridge magnet word, I did. Yes, I do drop it every now and again. I apologise if anyone is offended by that. I just feel in this day and age. Well, I mean, here's the thing. I mean, I'm Australian, and Australians swear a lot. I do try and keep it switched off as much as possible because, you know, some people may not be as relaxed with the amount of swearing that happens to go on in this country. But I think that particular one, after bending the pin for the second time, that definitely deserved an F-bomb. Don't you reckon? There's a time and a place, people. Alright, so I've put that component in, and now we're going to see if it has made any difference. Now, as I said before, one of the things that concerned me was this board did seem to go backwards. I did actually get it to start up, but I didn't get anything on the screen. Now, I'm not surprised I didn't get anything on the screen with those components that I was dealing with, but maybe they got worse. Worser. Here we go. I'm not going to do the whole sort of screwing everything in. I'm just going to put one screw in. If I can remember where I put the screws, I'm going to put them. There we go. I'll just put them here. So we'll just put one in. US Navy sailor would blush with shame. Possibly. I mean, it's a well-known fact. I mean, you will find lots of information on people saying things like, "Why do Australians swear so much?" and stuff like that. Yeah, stiff. Yeah. Okay. Right. Let's do this again. We're plugged in, floppy's in, power's in. That's the neck connector. That is the umbilical. That is the yoke connector. That's the flyback transformer. So let's give this another crack. Change views across to the side here, because that's probably more use. And I'm going to plug this in and switch it on. That's better. I've got 5 volts and I've got 11.7. I might just tinker. What? Okay, so we got some problems. And it's a whistle. I have a whistle. But it is booting. I'm just going to twiddle with this. There we go. Get this right onto 12 volts. There we go, 12 volts. So we've got 12 volts, 5.2 volts, and we've got minus 13.6. Now, so we got that. What do you think of that? I feel like it's not ideal. I'm going to just whack, because sometimes okay, whack not help. Right, so good progress in that we're now getting a chime. What I'm going to do now is what I did before, and I'm going to check heat. Excuse me. I'm getting hungry, I've got to tell you. It is going to be hard to use it in this condition. Right, so just going to have a look at this with the heater-rooney thingy. So that capacitor that I replaced is still getting crazy hot. Okay? The transistor that I replaced is still getting crazy hot. Oh, and it's smoking. All right. Okay, so that component is getting very hot. So it's something on that part of the circuit board. Now there are, what have we got here? We've probably got maybe some capacitors here. We've got, just looking at that there, that's, yeah, okay. So this capacitor here, which is 16 volt, 100 microfarad, this, oh geez, that's hot. That is hot. Hot, H-A-W-T. So, hope I haven't wrecked that BU406, because I dare say that was damaged before by whatever is going on here. But this here was crazy hot. So I'm going to check this out and probably replace it. I'd say that this capacitor is probably cactus. So that is a 16 volt 4700. Got no issue with that. I've got plenty of those. It's a very common size. Just like that. Alright, so let's do a little bit of a discharge-a-rooney. Rooney teddy teddy. I don't need to actually remove the board to change this capacitor, so I'm just going to whip it out. And I'll test it. And then I'll check it again, but this time I'll switch it off quite quickly if it's doing bad stuff, because I don't like leaving it on to the point that something starts producing smoke. Nick a fly. It's my shed. It's not my neighbour's shed. It's the shed over there. Flybacks are the one things you absolutely do not want to go because they're just getting so hard to find now. On the bright side, most of the time when I've had problems with these, it hasn't been the flyback. It's been something else. Oh, thank you for that, Jay. Whew. Out. Damn spot. All right. That capacitor has come out. Oh, jeez. Made a right mess of that too. Damn. Okay. That's all right. I'm going to fix it. I can fix it. I know how to fix it. Scalpel. I've got to find my bloody glasses. This is getting crazy. I'm so sick of not being able to see shit. While I'm finding my glasses, here I'll just show you some corrosion. Yeah, look at that. Oh my god, that's so corroded. Look at that. It's amazing. Most components you can only thermal cycle like that once. Don't tell me that. I wouldn't be at all surprised if something is gone now because of that. I just had it like that for way too long. I wanted to check the temperature, you know. Sitting there waiting for the thermal camera to fire up. Oh, here goes the channel bill again. It's actually two of them. It's probably a boy and a girl. Yeah, I found my glasses. Jeez, did they get pushed out of the way? Oh yeah, there we go. Sit down. Right. 4700 16 volt. Let's see what the old multimeter says about it. Yeah, well, the capacitor reads in spec, so it could well just be something else making the capacitor get hot. That's very possible. A short somewhere. I'll just have to find out where it is. Oh, I like the little things on the table. The little things. Little Mac Classic boards. Oh, wow. What did I just do? There we go. Is there a C5 cap on the neckboard? There's no neckboard. This just has the little thing on the back like that. Right, so I now have to do some repairs here after damaging this when I remove that capacitor. And I'm going to blame it on the rain that was falling, falling. Whatever you do, don't put the blame on you. Blame it on the rain. Yeah, yeah. Okay. Okay, so I wasn't measuring the ESR there. I do have an ESR meter, but I probably need to get the bloody schematic out for this, you know. Let's have a look here of things that could be giving us grief. I'm going to have to test many components. Alright, I'm going to just plug it in. I'm going to be real quick. I'm going to have my thermal camera at the ready. At the moment, the main heat that I'm picking up is around the soldering of that capacitor. Well, that's fine. So it's all around this circuit. I mean, it could be a bad flyback, you know. Is there a CR5 on the board? CR1. CR6. There's got to be. If we've got a CR6, there's got to be a CR5 somewhere. C5. CR2, CR3, CR4. It's got to be CR5 there, don't you reckon? Can't see a label though. Q2, C4. Oh, there is. Yeah, I see CR5. You think that might be rogered? That's the one that's right next to it, so it would make sense if it was rogered. It's just this one wasn't showing any signs of heat. You think CR5 is a good place to look at? Always content to listen to the advices of others. Yeah, well, look, there is definitely the sign of a short on here. So if this is short, of course I can just test that with a multimeter right now. You know. I'll go here to the art. It's not short there. I'm still going to test it. I'm still going to take it out and test it. Someone's twisted all these bloody tabs, the metal things that go in. You don't need to twist them, but some people do. Some of the people that built them did twist them. go. So let's put it into diodular mode. Eight, 4, 4, 5. Was that what I took off before on the other one? Because if it is, I can just replace it. But I'll check it. Okay, that's open. And that's open. Hang on. Open. It's open in both directions. Oh no, hang on. I wasn't in diode mode. Or was I? Diode mode. Okay, yeah. Alright, 0.4 voltage drop. And open. Okay, so that's, you know, within the realms. There we go. This is the other one I took out. GI854. GI85. Yeah, they're exactly the same sort of diode, so I can actually just swap this one over. I don't think there's anything wrong with it, but I've got it out, and I've got a replacement. May as well. I can't imagine these would have been pick and place. Ow, this thing is hot. I need to find some way of holding it still while I desolder it. Ow, that is hot. And I know hot. Very hot. Oh God, how did you get all the way over there? Come on. Ow. Still hot. Now you can cool down now if you want, please. Sure holds its heat. Okay, there we go. Yeah, those sneaky chickens. Up to no good. Right, so I've just replaced a second component, which I believe is probably fine. And then after this, we're going to just switch it on for a sec. And of course, I may well have baked that other component in the last test, but we'll have to just wait and see. Okay. Where has Jay gone to? That's a good question. Where has Jay gone to? Jay! All right. Okay, so we're going to do this again. We are going to plug in the power. I'm going to check it with the heat thing, and see what happens. Okay, got this on here. Again, there's a lot of heat there from just my soldering. Oops, I just took a photo. Yeah, he wasn't far away. Thank goodness. Thank goodness. All right, we're ready? Steady. Okay. $70, $80, $90. Yeah. CR1 is just getting crazy hot. So I am probably going to need to... look, the other one might have been as well. Actually, let me check. Yeah, it's something in that circuit there. There's got to be a short in here somewhere. I wonder if I've got a schematic for this thing. We've got to find it, don't we? Okay. No, that's all right. Okay. I'm sure I've had this problem before. I'm sure I've had this problem before. We've got a bunch of diodes here. Cool. Without a schematic, it becomes a little bit difficult, doesn't it? I probably should look for a schematic. And I can probably just go with one pair of glasses for this for now. All right, let's see if I have a schematic. Just have to find out where I put my keyboard. Up here. Chicho. 68K schematics. Macintosh power supply. Okay, Mac Plus. What do we got there? That's the Plus analog. There we go. Classic Mac Tech info. Someone's actually done this quite interesting redrawy type thing. Vertical sweep generator. Okay, first of all, let me see if I can find where these components live. So CR1 is getting crazy hot, so I would assume it's going to be on the same circuit is CR1. So I'm just going to see where CR1 lives in this crazy old world. It's crazy. Okay. Analog. Okay, so we've got. Oh, this is sideways. Why sideways? Horizontal sweep and high voltage circuit. Oh man, this is so annoying. There we go, that's better. Got the page around the right way now. Okay, see. So CR1, okay, here we are. So we've got the flyback transformer. That's T1, isn't it? Yeah. Actually, I'm sure the book has a way of testing the flyback transformer. CR10. C14, I'm just looking at all of these things here. So let me just show you this circuit. Alrighty. So here's the excuse me, high voltage, horizontal sweep and high voltage circuit. Now, CR1 is just there. That's getting blazingly hot. And what else is getting blazingly hot? Q2. So Q2, there's Q3. Looking for Q2. Excuse me. Q6. Q3. Of course, the other problem is that they might be different. Because mine's the international board. This might be markings for the other one. Yeah, it is Q3 BU406. So even though it's labelled Q2 on mine, it's Q3. So that's getting blazingly hot. That's getting blazingly hot. We've got our good old flyback transformer sitting in the middle of this here. And what could potentially... We've got all these diodes here. One of them could have failed. Got a Q6 there. That's just a little tiny guy. Excuse me. I must depart and go catch up on sleep. Good night, Moth. Good night, Jay. Sleep well. Jeez, it's early. Bloody early for you. Good grief. I don't want the flyback to be gone. That's the one thing I don't want. I mean that really sincerely. Okay. Well, I've got a flyback here that I can swap over that I know works. So shall we just swap over the flyback and see what happens? That sounds like a logical thing to do. That's one easy way to find out one way or t'other. I need this flyback, so I can't just steal it forever. But, you know, temporarily. I'll be so pissed off if it's a flyback transformer. How pissed off will I be? So pissed off. There are ways of testing the flyback transformer that I can go and check in the book and stuff like that, but I'm not going to do that. It's just, you know, that's not the fun part of the live streams. The fun part of the live streams is the doing. Okay? That's the whole thing. It's all about the doing. It's not about me sitting there with a multimeter and checking and stuff. That's the stuff I do when the cameras are off. Triple JJJ, hello there. Yes, I am wrestling with a Macintosh Plus today. It's giving me a little bit of grief. It's generating 12 volts and 5 volts properly, so it means that the logic board is working. But we've got a short somewhere, and it is just making this thing run so hot. And oh, fuzzball. I don't know if that's a dog or a child, but someone is wailing. Seriously, if this is the flyback transformer, I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I don't have a spare one of these. I suppose I can put out the word and just say, hey, peeps. Hey, my peeps. Has anyone got a spare flyback? They're the same flybacks. They're not the same flybacks as on the classics. So, I mean, I'd raid one from a classic any day, but they're different. So these are the same flybacks on the Mac Plus, the 512K, some of the 128Ks, the later ones, and SE, SE30, they all use the same flyback. I'm going to say whoever assembled this board, I'm just going to call them Boris Bendy Pin, because it just bends all the bloody pins. Hate it. Okay. Yeah, we're getting some success. Have I got a spare mic battery? I've been streaming for. How long have I been going for? Coming up for 3 hours. That's when it usually goes, isn't it? I do have a spare one, but not down here. I'd have to go up and get it. I'll have to keep a hawk eye on it. And it was fully charged. But yeah, 3 hours is usually where it hits. I have to confess, I didn't realise I'd been going for 3 hours. Okay. Here's my playback transformer. Right, I'm going to have to move this out of the way while I take this one up. Oh, excuse me, I should have put that there. Oh yes, just there. Jeez. Damn, oh damn, oh damn. This is really clogged up. Old man noises, yeah. Still can't. Okay, we're through. That's not going to work. Oh god, this is so annoying. This thing is just blocking up every time I use it. I'm going to melt some of the solder from in here. Hey! Great big lump of solder just came out. Joy of joys. Yeah. Okay, feeling good now. How's everyone else feeling? Feeling good? Oh, this is so much easier. And of course the great thing about this one is this has not got any bendy pins. This is obviously assembled differently because there's no bendy pins. It's getting a little breezy out there. All right. Come, Mr. Flyback. There's a chicken just here. Thought I was about to offer it some food. It's like, no, it's just a flyback transformer. Okay. Hello Joe, welcome back. Definitely not cold solder joints because I've already redone these ones. We've got a situation with this one where we're definitely getting the 12 volt and the 5 volt and the minus 12 volt. So we're actually getting the logic board fires up, speaker works, all that sort of stuff. It starts booting, the floppy drive starts whirring, everything like that. But we're not getting any picture and we're getting a whistling sound. And we've got some components getting blazingly hot. Now, I haven't done any conclusive testing that says, oh yes, this flyback is bad. But because I had a spare one just to my left, it's not spare, I stole it off another board. But just to my left, I went and grabbed it. I thought, you know what, that's one relatively easy way of checking if that's the problem. Because it's only a handful of pins to solder. And it's a very easy way to do some fairly basic diagnostic. Does it work with the new one? So, that's what we're about to test. Is it the diodes inside the flyback that goes bad? I have no idea. Okay, so that's the flyback is there, that's there, everything's plugged in. Once again, we'll spin this around this way because I will be watching it like a hawk with my thermal camera. And the minute I see it start to run away, I switch it off. Specifically, this component up here, CR1, and this component here, Q2, which I believe is Q3 on the US board, specifically those two components there, get really, really hot. No flop flop. There is a whistle. We do get a whistle, but it's not constant. The Book of Armaments. Yes, I've got the Dead Mac scrolls here. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is just going to switch it on and we're going to see what happens. Okay, we've got no whistling. Oh, there comes the whistling. Oh, that could just be the floppy drive, you know. I think the whistling is just the floppy drive. All right, now, what I can tell you at this stage is we are not getting the same temperature runaway that we were before. So that BU406 or whatever it is, he's quite comfortable temperature. CR1 is getting up around... CR1 is getting up around 57 degrees. It was getting up over 100 before, and the 406, that was getting up over like 150 degrees. Now, of course, it could be stuffed. It could have got killed. We can test that later on. But I'm not getting anything on the screen. It is completely black. Before we got some weirdness. Now it's completely black. What I will do is I'll switch him off, flip him around the other way so that the board's facing me, and we'll check the cutoff. Because maybe the cutoff has been turned all the way down. So when we have a look at... Wrong camera view, really. When we look at this, we've got here the cutoff, and then we've got focus and voltage and whatnot. Now the voltage I'm pretty fine with, but the cutoff could have been turned all the way off. In particular, if someone was fiddling with this, they might have just fiddled. So I'm going to switch it on again. Cutoff is the top one. But we've definitely seemed to have resolved that massive overheating problem. Oh, look at that. We didn't get that last time. Oh, look at that. It is definitely the floppy drive that's whistling. All right, so we're actually getting the picture here. I can see Welcome to Macintosh. There's a menu. There's a menu there. Yeah, so we've got Apple File, Edit, Special, blah, 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 and there's a floppy icon. So we're definitely a step up. So what we do know is that flyback transformer was stuffed. But we've still got problems. And of course that could be things that have died. So we can consult shall we consult the Book of Armaments and find the Holy Hand Grenade of Antioch? So, Dead Mac Scrolls, what we're looking for. Dead Mac Scrolls. I have it on here. I just got to find it. I actually have that book for real as well. Actually, actual book. Dead Mac Scrolls. So I'm just going to go down and have a look at all the pictures, because what often happens is we get little pictures. that describe things. So okie dokie. Okay, we've got here early Macs from page 11. There we go. So we don't have the wibbly wobbly herringbone pattern. Ozone, air pollution, car exhaust. No, I couldn't tell. Wouldn't it be good if we could get a flyback transformer for $21? Hey? How good would that be? I will test those other components that could have been fried. So whistle? Yeah, so anyhow, that whistle was a floppy drive. So we don't need to worry about that. It was just, it's spinning up on the floppy drive. So now, that one was it. There's a normal startup on with the display is dark or severely distorted. A computer makes high-pitched whining noise like a mosquito. After a few minutes, there is a burning smell. The problem is on the analog board. Replace the flyback transformer and check BU406 horizontal output at board reference Q3 may be burned. If possible, replace with a heavy-duty BU406D. Okay, that's good advice. So, yeah, well, the burning smell, it was all there. It was all there. So we know it's the flyback. It was the flyback and the BU406. So we think there's a very good chance that BU406 that I raided from another place, another board, is now being cooked. I'm just going to just look in and see if I see any other images, because they show you little pictures of distortions and stuff. Pretty sure CR5 is fine. So they have these lovely little illustrations, and we can just often see Alright, so I am going to have to put out the word on the streets. No, 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 no. Oh, hang on. Computer bongs with a normal video display does not appear. So there's a tiny grey, a relatively bright horizontal line, and then 3 dotted horizontal lines. The bright line is flashing and the cursor is just visible. I was on the analog board Q5. TN5485 transistor. That pretty much describes what we were looking at. So Q5. Q5. 2N5485. Okay. It may not be Q5 on the analog board. On the international board, we'll see. Q5. And of course, if it's in that same circuit, Q2. Q5, there it is. He's just a little tyke. Hello, little fella. I might even be able to get him at JCar. So he's at 2N5485. Let's have a look. Keyboard. There we go. 2N5485. In channel MOSFET. Store, choose a store. Can't put in my bloody postcode on a live stream. That's just can't do that. And There we go. They do have it. That's good. But of course, I could just rate it from another board. We all know that. Right. So that's a good thing. I consider that a good thing. But the other thing I need to check is I may already have some. 2000 Sydney. That's not my postcode. Right. There we go. Look at that. You can see my... oh, and then we've got the corrosion. We can turn that off now. There we go. Side view. All right. There we go. So Q5 is just in here. There. It's just there. I probably have to take the analog board off in order to get to that. That was much corrosion. But if you missed it at the beginning, this is what it looks like now. That's the before. And that's the after. It's had the works. It's had the treatment. This thing's going to be bloody perfect when I'm finished with it. Okay, so how did I clean that up? I can tell you exactly how I cleaned it up. It's going to be in my video as well. I got a great big plastic container and I filled it up with salt and cleaning vinegar. So about a cup of salt. And then filled it up with probably about 10 litres worth of cleaning vinegar. Basically sat the board inside that for about a day. Actually, it wasn't that long. It was nowhere near that long. It was only a few hours. What is that? That's so weird. That's way delayed. And then I then put it into my big ultrasonic cleaner. So what I did is I put it in my laundry sink ultrasonic cleaner and then just filled it around the plastic with water so that it would help the sound travel through. And then I ultrasonicked it for a while in the vinegar solution. And then it basically came out spotless. All of that surface corrosion was gone. I then cleaned it with a solvent and then I spray painted it with a rust protection paint, a rust guard paint. And the paint is actually called Cold Gal, and it came up a treat. I mean, I cannot even begin to tell you how happy I am, and I can't tell you where I've put my mouse. There we go. Since you had vertical collapse, in my humble opinion, desolder resistors, check them out of circuit. Okay. Well, I'm going to replace the Q5 first because I can actually do that. That's something I can do here, and then we'll check it. And then, yes, we could well have more problems as well. We have made progress, though. I guess that's probably an important thing. But I am going to have to find a new flyback transformer. And I just don't know where I'm going to get one from. And I do have a dead Mac Plus, but I think I already rated the flyback from that one. So this is Q5. 5485. That was it, wasn't it? 5485. 5555. 5555. 5555. 5485. Yep. Now, go and do my little thing. See, I've already have some. All familiar with that process now. Because I do sometimes end up with some common transistors. Just keep looking, just keep looking. Another thing I have to do in my next in the next part to my restoration video is I have to repair a mouse. Looking forward to committing that one to film as well. No, it's not really film, is it? Oh, that's disappointing. I was sure I had more. Let's have a look in my other little dumping ground here. So I will rate it off the board. I'll rate it off this other board if I can't find it. But at least I know I can pop into my local J-Car and purchase a new one. Wouldn't the salt make it worse? The salt, it would certainly make it worse if you left it there. It's the salt and the vinegar together creating the reaction with the rust. But needless to say, when you finish, you've got to wash all that crap off thoroughly. Hello, Rudy. I don't even know what evapo rust is. I'm not sure if we have that here. Or if we do, it's called something else. A video on restoring a PowerPC floppy drive. There are tons of videos for older Macs, but I can't find much for PowerPC. Is that the manual inject one? You know what, I might have done a video on those because they had a couple of surface mount capacitors on the back, but that was the only thing. It's just replacing a couple of caps on them. I might have done it in a live stream. I can't actually remember. They don't all have electrolytic caps. Some have tantalums, but on the back, so where the where the front of the floppy drive is, just at the back, there's a little bit of the board that pokes out. I think a little bit pokes out, and there's a couple of surface mount electrolytic caps on there, and I have replaced a few of those. Okay, so where'd I put that other board? The one that I rated the thing from. Not the flyback transformer, the other one. Here we are. Okie dokie. Now, is it still on there, or have I rated that as well? Q5, now here it is. Okay, so let's grab Q5 from this little guy. And with a bit of luck, gotta wait for the... Oh, the iron's off. Why is my iron off? Plug. Okay. There we go. I've still got sound. Don't know how long it's going to last for. There are two different types of drive that they on the Mac computers. One they call auto inject. It's not eject. Auto inject. And one they call manual inject. Now the older type, the old 800K ones, I've got one floating around here somewhere, 800K and 1.4 megabyte ones, they were called an auto inject. So what that meant is when you push the disk, at a certain point, it grabs the disks from you and pulls it in. And what that meant was you didn't need as big an opening for the disk because it would just, kind of pull the disk in from quite some distance. The manual inject ones, they're the ones that came out later and they've got the black cover at the front. Those ones there, you'll notice like some of the floppy holes, they actually put little curved bits for your fingers to get in there because the disk has to get a lot further into the drive before it clicks down. And so, yeah, that's what I was referring to with the auto and manual inject. Okay, grabbing a little Q5 from this little place. And I will actually even, when I take the other one out, I will test. Bendy pins, oh bendy pins. Bendy pins, oh bendy pins. Bendy pins, bendy pins, bendy pins. Okay, here's the bad Q5. Well, we think bad Q5. Here's the good Q5. Well, we think good Q5. And it's rated from a board that doesn't work, so it could be stuffed on this as well. Wouldn't that be funny? But anyhow, the least thing, one thing I can do is I can test it. Oh my God, come on. What a mess. Okay. Alright, so we'll just put this into the component tester for shits and giggles. My component tester that's now got a pretty flat battery in it. Okay, well this is recognizing it as a component, so that may not be the problem, but I'll put this one into here because I'm now starting to think it's fine. If it's not this, it's almost definitely that component that was getting super hot. It's probably been cooked, and I just have to order some more. So, right. Of all the bloody things, flyback transformer. Pff. Pff. I'll have to have a look. Maybe I do have a good one floating around somewhere, but I suspect I don't. Three o'clock. Oh, just checking here. Oh, I've still got sound. This is amazing. I'm so amazing. I will have to wrap this up fairly soon. I was actually going to do something else. I did not think this was going to take me this long. There we go. All right, let's start plugging some shit in. My apologies to everyone who's sort of had to stop to go to sleep because it's so late. I am sorry about that. One good thing is I think you guys are leaving daylight savings soon. And when you do that in the US, you get a little bit closer to me in time. So when I do a stream at 11 AM, it'll be an hour earlier for you guys. Okay, plugged. Let's see what happens. But I'm almost certain it's that BU 406. Nice loud bong. Same problem. Yep, same problem. So I would be, I reckon the chances are it's this little thing here that got blazingly hot before, and he just got wrecked by that, basically. Bloody pigeon. Cheeky pigeon. November 3rd. Okay, cool. Just going to take this off and test it. Because I think this has become cooked. And there should be no real surprises there. After what we put the poor thing through. With the taking it, oh wow, look at that. All this bubbling from how hot it got. From taking it up to, whatever it was, 150 degrees C. Probably went up higher than that. That's just what I measured. I don't know what all. Okay, so what have I done to this Macintosh Plus? Well, I have cleaned up solder joints, a few cracked ones in there. Excuse me, itchy nose. I have replaced the reefer caps. Took them out, put new ones in, because this is, where is he? Yeah, he's around here somewhere. But anyhow, he was in really bad shape. And I have replaced a couple of capacitors. We have replaced the flyback transformer, which we know to be bad, which I'm not at all happy about. Yeah, this is baked. This is baked. That's a goner. So I've got to get another one. All right, I'm going to just do... I'm going to do the other thing. I'm going to just go in and see, is there another board I can raid one of these from? So sit tight. It won't be long. I'll just have to look at my little pile of boards. There may well be another one. So I'm going to do the back soon. I will be back soon. Okay, I guess the only other hope is that maybe there's one on. No. 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 What's that one? There's one on an SE. BU406. So I'm going to raid my SE again. This one's all in pieces at the moment anyway. This is part of a larger project. So let's grab this one from the SE. This one doesn't have a heatsink on it, so clearly does not get as hot. Oh, this SE is going to be beautiful when finished. Absolutely beautiful. Inside, not out. The outside's going to look like shit because it's very yellow. Whoops. Poor thing. Poor thing. But I definitely need to get myself a few BU406Ds. The D is apparently better. So I shall do that. I'll find out who can get those to me for the cheapest. Actually, I might even be able to just get some off eBay. That happens sometimes. Knights of Need demand an SE sacrifice. We want a shrubbery. I mean, the big problem we have here is the fact that it's got a bad flyback transformer. That is the main issue that I have. And it may end up just staying that way until a flyback transformer makes its way to me, which they do sometimes. Sometimes you just get hold of them. And, you know, stuff does find its way to me. I just feel like I should have more analog boards lying around. Yeah. Maybe they've been donated. Can I get this in without removing the analog board? I had so much grief doing this before. But I didn't have my glasses that time. My nose is so itchy and my hands are so dirty. Always the way. We can do this. This is a Unix system, I know this. None of the pins are showing through. Hey, got them. Got them, got them, got them. that was bad. I hope I've still got enough pin to solder onto there. We'll soon see. Yeah, there's plenty of pin there. What grease or oils do I need? You will need, the best stuff is, oh, what's that called? What's it called? Is it silicon grease or something like that? It's, is that what it's called? Silicon grease? The stuff they use for lubricating like 3D printers and stuff like that. Hello, Max. Well, a lot is the short answer with this Mac Plus. The main problem, it would appear, was a dead flyback transformer, and that created a knock-on effect of destroying a whole bunch of other components. So, because it was creating a short and was making it get really hot. Now, I've just replaced a part as a component that I don't actually have in stock, so I stole it from another board. And it's just to see if it's going to work, which we're about to find out now. Sorry. When we're ready, I'm just going to plug this in and we'll see what happens. 3, 2, 1. So, just for anyone who's just joining, it chimes, okay? So that part of it is fine. It does actually chime, it boots, but the display microphone died. Yeah, so right. So what is the complication? Just bear with me a second here. What to do? We've got more stuff that we need to fix, basically. So that component was definitely cooked, and it's been replaced, so that's something. Just want to check something here. I am going to finish up fairly soon, so I'm not sure if I can be bothered going up and getting another microphone. You might have to just live with the horrible sound from this camera here. It's the sound coming from this camera. So yeah, so the kind of here's a quick little history of the situation. We had a dead flyback transformer. Okay, that's all good. I mean, it's not really, because I don't know where to get a replacement, but never mind. Then the dead flyback transformer was damaging other components because it was getting so freaking hot. It was causing a short, so we were getting diodes and transistors and stuff getting blazingly hot. So it's then, okay, no worries, we'll replace those ones that got really hot, and I have done that. I've replaced the components that got really hot, and we're still getting this issue with the image. Now, we're further along than we were before. When I first started on, the screen was just completely black, or just had like a couple of lines on it. I have replaced the components that I believe would have been the cause of the problem, but we are still getting now this distorted screen. So we've got something else. We've got this sort of collapse going on, so we shall need to look into that further. Basically, I can see my cursor just there. The cursor's there. I can see Welcome to Macintosh box just happening here. It's just like these first few pixels are all stretched down and then scrunched down here. So yeah, look, exactly what Quicksilver Oz has said is the next thing. I've got to go through this circuit, and I've got to check all of the resistors and stuff, because that's another thing that does fail on these old Mac Pluses. So I've got to go and do the boring stuff, testing it a bit at a time. It would be really nice to get it fixed. And then I've got to find a few replacement parts that I can then put back into my SE, because the SE, well, it's SE30 actually. SE30 is more important to me than a Mac Plus, that's for sure. When I finish restoring this SE30, I will have 4 of them. Who needs 4? No one. One of them has a grayscale board in it, so you get grayscale on the screen. One of them has a network card in it. One of them has a shit ton of RAM in it. And then the other one is just this one. This one. Which is just boring. I don't know. I'll probably just flip it and sell it, because there are other people out there that want them. So, alright, well, I'm going to have to wrap this up, I'm afraid. Unfortunately, because I have been going for such a long time. We're coming up for 4 hours. I've got 3 hours and 45 minutes. I just did not expect to be streaming for this long. I really thought this board would be clean up a few cracked solder joints, and we would be enjoying a Mac Plus for the rest of the live stream. Alas, that is not to be the case. There is still quite a bit of work to be done on this in order to find the problem. But I'm not going to do that now, because I am hungry. So, you have 0 SE30s. You see, that's not fair. It's not fair for me to have 4 and you to have 0. So that just doesn't work out. That's not how it works. I'll be putting mine up on eBay for some ridiculous amount of money very soon. $1,000. No, I won't do that. Yes, you will have 4. You will be pleased to know, Max, that I spent quite a bit of time this week grabbing a whole bunch of boards and putting them all together. Now, what I did find out when I was looking at your boards is one of them I have not tested, so I will have to test that one before I send it back to you. But I've got them all together. I've got them all in little plastic bags, all happening. So we are a step closer to getting those back to you, Max. So, one thing I can tell you is I am going to cease work on your battery damaged one. The corrosion around this part of the ROM sim is so bad that I cannot see that there will, this could potentially take days and days and days of work with very little chance of getting it back up and running. It was fun. I enjoyed working on it, and we did repair some traces, but once I got up to this end of the ROM slot, it's just a corroded mess. There's no solder in there at all. It's just corroded right through, which means those vias inside there are shot as well. So yeah, unfortunate. So sorry about that. Suppose you can, I don't know, rate it for parts if another one dies. Well, I suppose you could always look at doing a reloaded board that doesn't have all the parts, because some are damaged, but I think it's got most of them. So anyhow, yeah, okay, I was finishing up. Okay, I want to say thank you to everyone for joining. Thank you for all the people that watched, because there were quite a lot of people on here today, so I do appreciate that. I'm sorry we didn't get this Mac Plus fully working, but we did make some progress, and that's a good start. And who knows, by the next live stream I might even have it up and running perfectly. Yeah. Has anyone got a spare flyback transformer? And yeah, so thank you once again. Thanks for chatting. Thanks for keeping it all lively. Sorry if I didn't get to any questions that came up on the live stream. I do miss them, in particular with this time I was just concentrating on stuff. I hope you all have a good rest of evening, morning, afternoon, whatever happens to be in your part of the world. And I hope you will join me for the next live stream. So thank you and bye-bye.